we kick off our Best of E3 feature series with a new look at Halo 5.
All hail the conquering hero.
And then we tell you what our senses tell us about the new Wachowski show, Sense8.
Somebody help me!
Also coming up, we make our fate with a behind-the-scenes look at Terminator Genesis, have another new look at No Man's Sky, and much more today on EP Daily. Brought to you by EB Games. I'm your host, Marissa Roberto, bringing you the latest in everything cool every single day. If a giant monster tries to destroy your city, the best way to stop it is with the Rundown. It looks like a team of giant monsters is no match for The Rock. Deadline reports that Dwayne Johnson is set to star in Rampage, a big-screen adaptation of the destructive video game series. Like the games, the film will see several different giant monsters terrorize major cities, destroying everything in their path and devouring any humans that get in the way. There's no word yet on what kind of character The Rock will be playing. The film is being produced by the same team behind his recent blockbuster San Andreas because apparently they didn't get all that destruction out of their systems. Rampage will begin shooting next year. LEGO wants to help build a better environment. The toy manufacturer has announced plans to replace the plastic used in its bricks with more ecologically sustainable materials by the year 2030. LEGO is investing $150 million in a new research center to help discover just what those new materials will be. Since about 60 billion LEGO pieces were made last year, finding a more environmentally friendly alternative to plastic seems like a good idea. Thankfully, the virtual LEGO found in movies and games doesn't really impact the environment unless you count the new toy/game hybrid LEGO Dimensions, which comes out this fall. That's it for the rundown. Now look who it is to join me. It's the lumbersexual Scott C. Jones. Yes. Look at you and your plaid and your beard.
I was really hoping to be cast in the Rampage movie, but you got it, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson.
Okay, well, let's talk about that in a second. First, I want to talk about LEGO with you because they want to make biodegradable bricks. That's pretty sweet.
This is very interesting. 2030 to me sounds like a long way off. But
you're going to be way gone by then.
I probably will be dead by then. We're talking about 15 years to develop something that doesn't really exist at this point. I love the cojones on LEGO, and I love the fact that they're making a statement here. They're saying LEGO is not biodegradable. No. We can't bury this stuff. It's never going to naturally dissolve in the earth, and so we need to do something that's a little more earth-friendly.
Sure, of course. I mean, I do like the idea of passing my LEGO on through generations because you can do that, of course, with the LEGO that we have, but we're also contributing to all the terrible plastic, the piles of plastic, the garbage in this world. So I think they're doing something. It's just going to take a long time and a lot of money.
Good for you, LEGO. I think it's a step in the right direction. I'd like to see more of this from other toy companies out there.
Yes, absolutely. But let's talk about Dwayne The Rock Johnson.
I'm all excited about this.
I know you want to talk about this.
I'm excited about this, not because I'm a huge fan of Rampage. I don't know what kind of movie they're going to make of Rampage. There really wasn't all that much game there. It was just monsters climbing on buildings and doing monster-like things.
So we don't know what Dwayne The Rock Johnson is actually going to do.
We don't know what he's going to. Hopefully he'll be some kind of monster. Maybe a chimp. Or maybe the dragon, I don't know, the dinosaur kind of monster, but I love him though. Everything we see him in, we just saw him in San Andreas a couple of weeks back.
Right.
I think he's a terrific performer. He has such an addictive personality. I love watching him work. So even if he is a monkey in this movie, I think it's still going to be fascinating to watch.
He's a very good monkey. Also, do we drop The Rock now from the middle of his name?
No,
we're just saying Dwayne Johnson.
Let's always leave The Rock in there.
Oh, it's always
so on EP, we're always going to put The Rock in there, but the rest of the world will probably try to keep The Rock out.
All right, so let's table this conversation for another date. Right now, we're going to start our Best of E3 series with a deeper look at Halo 5.
You've completed your mission, Spartan Locke. Mine is just beginning.
Our good friend Josh Holmes is here. He is the studio head of internal development at 343, putting together a little game called Halo 5. Look at how good this dude looks for a guy that's running this massive game at a massive show. How are you feeling?
I feel great. It's been amazing to be able to finally show some of the work that the team's been doing over the last 3 years.
Yeah.
We're really excited to announce our new multiplayer mode here with Warzone and give the first look at our campaign.
Where does the story pick up for Halo 5? Is it right after Halo 4, or are there lots of throwbacks? You just released the Master Chief Collection, and you've added a lot more content to that. Are there lots of throwbacks to the previous Bungie games that are sort of sprinkled and scattered in there? Like, where are you kind of setting this one?
Yeah, it's a continuation of the story from Halo 4, but we've really designed it to be a self-contained story as well. So Master Chief is a big focal point of the story, and he's a character that's so important to us. We wanted to create different ways to explore him, both by surrounding him with other characters that he knows and trusts with Blue Team, which is a squad of Spartans that he's grown up with and trained with, and then by introducing this new cast of characters with Fireteam Osiris and Spartan Locke, use that as another lens to examine him as a character.
Every soldier, when they hear about this, they're gonna hate us. You know that, right?
We see Nathan Fillion front and center in this thing, and that was pretty. I'm a big Firefly fan.
Who isn't?
Right?
Yeah, who isn't? Yeah, Nathan's amazing. This is a campaign that, for the first time, we have two distinct Spartan teams. So we have two teams of 4 Spartans. You play back and forth between the two of them throughout the campaign. We also support seamless drop-in, drop-out, online cooperative play using dedicated servers. And so you have these two teams, and one of them is Fireteam Osiris, which features Nathan Fillion playing Buck. Buck is now a Spartan.
Yeah, safe and sound inside a crumbling building.
This is a multi-threaded game. There's a lot of details, and I mean, there's storytelling, there's movies, there's all kinds of stuff happening in here, and you've got to oversee all of it. Can you pick a favorite baby? Like, are you prouder of the campaign? Are you prouder of the choices in multiplayer? What excites you the most about Halo 5?
There's no one thing. It's really the combination of all of these experiences into a single big game.
Yeah.
But I'm just so proud of the work that the team has done. You know, we have this amazing team at 343, and they poured their heart and soul into this game for the last 3 years, and it's my honor to be able to represent the work that they've done on this game.
There is a lot of mystery around what you're doing here. Is Master Chief the hunted, or is he a good guy? Like, has he betrayed people? Can you take us into a bit without spoiling anything?
Well, yeah, I mean, I think that's one of the great things about, storytelling, is having that sense of mystery and having things that players want to discover. And so you've got this question out there: is Master Chief, is he a hero? Is he a traitor? Why has he gone AWOL as he does at the beginning of our story? Who is Locke? What does he want? There's a lot of questions out there to be answered. We're looking forward to seeing how gamers experience that.
All hail the conquering hero.
Ooh, that was so enjoyable. In fact, I loved it so much there are going to be more Best of E3 looks in today's episode and all week long.
Oh,
in fact, the Best of E3 train is leaving.
Okay, Jones. Don't go anywhere. After the break, we've got a review of Sense8.
Welcome back to EP Daily. Marissa Roberto, pop quiz. Do you like science fiction and do you like Netflix?
I do. I like both of those things.
Well,
yes and yes.
You've come to the right place, I believe.
Oh, I have I?
Yeah, there's a new TV show. It's called Sense8, and you spell it like this. I'm breaking it down for you.
Yeah.
The word sense and then the number 8.
Yeah, well, the same creators of The Matrix
That's
actually
right.
made this one.
The Wachowskis made this.
Mm-hmm.
It's a TV show. I wonder if it's worth watching, though.
Let's find out.
Somebody help me!
You all right? Netflix is packing all kinds of talent in their new show called Sense8. It is headed up by the Wachowskis, but we've got J. Michael Straczynski in there, who's a very famous writer in a bunch of different mediums, comic books. He's one of the creators of Babylon 5 as well. This is a very trippy story, interweaving 8 different lives that are all connected through this very mysterious birthing sequence that we see at the beginning of the first episode, which stars Daryl Hannah.
Yeah.
And then she
Surprise.
gives birth to 8 different people all over the world, and they start to have all of these interconnected sequences. Naveen Andrews also has a big role. He very famously played Saeed on Lost, so it's great to see his face again.
Yeah, it's a strange premise.
Yeah.
Interesting premise, and I think that's why we were so intrigued to watch it. Also, it's a Netflix original, and they've been doing really well with those.
Yes. My sense is that you did not enjoy this.
I'm not understanding why there are a lot of people out there that are enjoying this.
Yeah.
And I'm really I'm struggling to find the reasons why I'm still watching this thing. Look, I am now 7, 8 episodes deep. I'm trying to still find the love behind
They're
it.
stringing it out. They're drawing you in. They're trying to just sort of go as slowly as they possibly can with the big reveals on this thing.
That's the thing. It goes slowly, but then sometimes things happen a little too quickly. Like, okay, how did those two just immediately connect and then they just found each other right away? Because all these people that are connected, they see each other's lives. They have an image of each other's lives. They end up jumping to where that person is, and you don't really understand why or how that happens, and they don't really understand either. So there's a lot of confusion there.
Yes.
And it's not one of those situations where the show is complex and I'm not getting it. I don't understand how it's happening. It's not stringing together the way I feel like it should be. I feel like it's not being pieced together.
And there's some reactions which feel a little incongruous,
Yes.
for sure, and there is a lot of the, oh my God, how did I get here? Oh my God.
Exactly.
You know, after episode after episode, it's
Sure.
like, what am I looking at? How did I do that?
Yes.
Let me touch the mirror. And I think people would be flipping out a little bit more if this
little
was
bit more,
happening, right? They'd
but-
be going to the doctor and,
Exactly.
you know, and they're just carrying on with their lives pretending nothing's happening.
For sure, and there is one of the storylines where she does go to the doctor because something crazy happens, and then like it turns into this weird sci-fi, she's out to get us kind of thing. Like people are out to get us. It's not coming together the way I want it to.
And when
That's my main
it's all
problem.
very beatific as well. It's almost, you know, too beautifully shot and too
Yes.
beautifully lit. It's a little overcooked and overdone.
Some of the acting is just way over the top, and that I don't buy any of it. I love sci-fi. I am on board with sci-fi. It's just not. This is just not something. It's not even the story that I'm not believing.
Yeah.
It's everything inside the story that's being pieced in there for no good reason.
I was okay with most of the stuff. I mean, I had a problem with the Bollywood sequence for sure, but I think that it's cool to see the streets of Nairobi, and then we're jumping to Seoul, and then we're cracking a safe.
And you didn't mind that it's all in English, even though they're in.
I mean, there's some conceits there, right? I mean, Netflix paid for this thing as an English production, and they're trying to kind of globalize it, and it's probably been translated in a different language for other territories. I'm along for the ride. I think this is fascinating. I think it's cool. I don't know where it's going to end up.
Well, that's the thing. I'm gonna keep watching to see where it goes.
Yeah.
Like I'm not enjoying it, but I'm in it enough that I want to see where it goes.
I'm enjoying it. I'm digging it. And even with all of its, you know, warts and all, I'm still having a good time with Sense8. I'm giving it an 8.
It's a 5 for me.
Okay.
Cool. I'm still really trying to enjoy that one. I swear, I'm gonna finish it.
Yeah.
It's just been a really tough ride for me.
Yeah, and so far it's been tough for me as well. But that's enough of my review. Listen, let's find out what's going on in another part of the science fiction universe. I wonder what's happening in Terminator.
Ooh, I wonder.
If we die tonight, mankind dies with us.
It was only when he stepped on and said his first line in the movie, which is, "I've been waiting for you." And he, had a shotgun and he fired it. And it was a great moment for me and for the whole crew. You realize, oh, right, there's a reason why this guy is one of the major pop icons of our time. In this role, he just goes click, and it's, for the ages.
I've been waiting for you. I'm still the Terminator 30 years later, so that was really extraordinary. I'll be back.
What?
I had a terrific time shooting this film because, again, it's like a combination of being the powerful machine that would destroy anything that would be in my way. But at the same time, I'm playing a protector. So it really depends on what mode I'm in and how I was programmed. So you will see a combination of things in this movie.
Oh, great. That's just great.
I did not kill him.
It's been 30 years, but still he's got his own charisma. When I first saw him in the makeup trailer, I saw his makeup on. He's still got the mood and charisma, even 30 years past. So that was so impressive. And I thought, wow, he's a real star, action star.
Nice to see you.
Byung-hun Lee to play the T-1000 was fantastic. He took it so seriously. He was so focused on getting the choreography right for this character. He was correcting me occasionally when I would suggest something, and he would say, I don't think he would do that, because he'd really thought about it. And I think he achieved some of the things that Robert Patrick achieved in the, T2, which sort of set the bar for this kind of creature. He's physically beautiful, he's graceful, he's elegant, but he's lethal and scary. And there are many ways in which we are sort of alluding to Cameron's Terminators, and it's intimidating, but I think Byung-hun Lee really nailed it for us.
Come with me if you want to live. Now, soldier! We're not going to say no to Sarah Connor. You know what I mean? You're just not. She's such an incredible icon for women everywhere, and just an opportunity to play such a fierce, strong warrior and put a new spin on it like we have was just incredible and incredibly exciting.
Nice night for a walk, eh?
Your clothes, give them to me, now.
Sarah's an idea. She's this kind of dream, this kind of reflection thing that he's been told about for most of his life. So when, he puts his hand up to go back to save her, it's huge for him. I mean, this is his moment.
I know that people are not going to walk out of a theater disappointed on any level with this movie, with the laughs, the characters, the story, the love story, the drama, the tension, the action, which is through the roof, quite literally. It's going to be quite a ride.
Not machine, not man, I'm more.
Very interesting, very interesting. Always been a big fan of the Terminator, Terminator 2. Yeah. They're not really spelling Genesis right. I don't know, I wrote them a little letter to see if
did you write them a letter?
But they didn't get it clearly.
Okay, I'm sure they're still working on that for you, Jones. Don't go anywhere, because after the break, Jose is going a little deeper into space with No Man's Sky. Welcome back to EP Daily. Sean Murray is one of the creators of a new game called No Man's Sky that has yet to be released. Sean is a really nice man. We had a good chat once, but he still hasn't returned my phone calls. Jose got a chance to speak with him recently. The interview went so well, in fact, that we had to break it up into 2 segments. So here's the second part of that interview. Take it away, Jose.
We are taking exploration to a whole new level with No Man's Sky. Tell me about the vast exploration within this game and how you guys managed to make it as big as it is.
No Man's Sky is like a infinite procedurally generated universe, right? And then we just set players loose in it. And it's actually up to them what they do. Some players will explore it, but some people will be a little bit like me and be more combative and just want to be intergalactic jerks. There's a wanted level. So if I start killing lots of creatures or mining the planets too heavily or really just upsetting the balance of the universe, then the universe is going to fight back. On the planets, there's a race of robots, the Sentinels. Their whole job is to just keep the peace and actually protect the planets from people like me, right? From explorers like us going out and upsetting the balance. In space, when I'm out in space, then you have police ships, you have military. They're either on patrol, or if you start causing lots of trouble, they will get called out. If you are acting as a pirate or an attack ship, they're going to seek you out. You will have a wanted level, and you either need to run away or try and stand your ground. But the more you stand your ground, the more you fight back, the more the military gets pulled in.
In the process of doing all of this scanning and gathering all this information from all the worlds that you discover, is there sort of a catalog that keeps track of all the things that I'm finding?
You have your hitchhiker's guide that you're building up, your intergalactic Pokedex, right? That tracks everything that you're doing, everything that you've discovered, all the places that you've been. And to start off with, that's reasonably simple, but after you've been exploring for hundreds of hours, hopefully, right, you're going to see that builds up into this huge, almost wiki of, like a photo album. Yeah. All the places you've been, the things that you've seen, and it becomes really exciting and really personal to you. And as you discover those things, you get to name them. And then when other players see them, they see that name that you've given to it.
You mentioned that if other players come across something you've discovered with your name, that they'll see the name that you've given it. Is this a game where you're going to encounter other players?
It's not a game that's really about the multiplayer experience, because the universe is so huge. Actually, the chance of coming across somebody is really slim. But people are playing in the same universe, and it is still possible, but it's just very unlikely. So this isn't a game that you enter into thinking you're gonna deathmatch, or that, it's not really an MMO, right? Because there's loads of games that do that. Yeah. And we're not trying to be those type of games. What's different about us is the size of this universe. So we didn't want to start people all on the same planet. We wanted to spread people out. But even if we had, these are planet-sized planets. So if we had 1 million players, which would be amazing, right? A little indie game. But if we had 1 million players and we started everyone on the same planet, they'd actually be still really far apart, because that's a planet-sized planet.
it's so good to see you again, Sean. You just have to click accept on my Facebook friend request. Talk to you later, buddy. Don't go anywhere because after the break, we have the Twitter question of the day.
If you want more EP, go to our website, epn.tv, for bonus content and full episodes. We're also on Facebook and Twitter.
Welcome back to EP Daily. It is time now for the best part of every show. It's the Twitter question of the day. Today's question comes from Python Hyena Gilbert. Frankly, that sounds made up.
Yeah.
This question is specifically for you, Marissa Roberto, so I'm glad you're here. I have a humor question for you. Have you ever gotten a pie in the face before, and then he says it would be funny to see that, and then at the very end, a little winking smiley face thing?
Well, I hope that's not a euphemism, but I did actually, I used to work at a restaurant, and one of the things we did for people's birthdays was we take a coffee filter, fill it with whipped cream, and then pie people in the face. So on my last day, everybody thought it would be funny to do the same to me.
What was that like for you?
It was sweet because it was whipped cream, so
Were you
it was
terrified?
delicious. I wasn't terrified, but you can't really see after. You can't get the whipped cream out of your
off
eyes.
your face?
Okay, that's enough of that.
I have a lot of
We're done
questions.
with these whipped cream questions.
I've never had a pie in the face, but I did get an ice cream up the butt once.
Okay, wow. So more True Hollywood stories from Jones in future episodes of EP Daily. You can check all of this out at epn.tv.
And we're already working on some very cool stories for tomorrow's episode, including a closer look at Deus Ex Mankind Divided. Thanks for watching, everybody.
Bye.
EP would like to thank its sponsors, Nintendo, Xbox. EP's mobile coverage is brought to you by Gameloft, makers of Dungeon Hunter 5, which you can play for free on iOS and Android right now.
Is there a main villain within the game itself? Is there somebody that is causing all of these problems for Adam Jensen that, you know, he's just going to be the pain in my ass until I can finally take him down?
There certainly is. I won't go deeper than that. You've seen the trailers and that, so you can kind of come to your conclusions. But I would say at the head of the snake is always the Illuminati. That's always Adam's nemesis.
I can only fight enemies I see.